This is my life with albinism.
Now, this is my life with albinism.
And this is my life with albinism.
All right, we're back with another episode of Life with Albinism podcast. I'm your host, Dale, and I have a special guest here. We've had him on our show before, so this will be a nice, good follow-up episode. And we have his father here with us, so I want to let y'all introduce yourselves.
So I'm Julian Kidd, from Chicago, south side of Chicago, southwest suburbs, Homewood, Illinois. I am director of IT for a school district. I have a beautiful wife, 2 children, one with albinism. My daughter Corinne is going to high school. She does not have albinism, but my son Jack is why we're here. It's how we got introduced to Noah, and we love the Noah family, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm Julian. I go, well, keep cut.
Don't forget the camera's over there.
Oh, so you should be looking at the camera?
Because he was kind of. But all right. So just tell them your name, how old you are, and where you're from.
Okay. My name is Julian. I'm 12 years old, and I'm from Homewood, Illinois. And I have no occupation yet.
Okay, so Jack, let me ask you this: how do you like this NOAA conference versus the last one you went to 2 years ago?
I mean, this one was definitely different than the other conference. The other conference had like a better pool. This pool isn't like. I have mixed feelings. But I have mixed feelings about this conference. It was definitely like it was better in its own way, but Florida was better in its own way too. But I mean, they were both pretty good.
Okay. So like, give me like an understanding of like why you may or may not like this one better than the last one.
I just didn't really have a good experience with the
last
banquet.
one. Oh,
This
at the banquet this year. Well, what happened?
Well, there weren't any desserts because we showed up late, so we just decided to get ice cream with my friends. Yeah, that's what happened.
So I ask you, how do you like this NOAA conference versus the last one? What's your take?
This is the best conference that we've been to so far, I would say. So I've seen each conference we've come to seems to get better and better. And what I feel like this conference, I can see, how do I put it, the diverse contributions to a more diverse board. It feels different.
Yeah.
I've seen more people of color with albinism and families. And then the workshops seem to have shifted a little bit. There were some of the same workshops, but even the workshops that I went to seemed like they've been upgraded. And so forth. So it seemed, it was a better feel. So I can see the continued progression of the conference as it continues to grow. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen at the next one.
Yeah, and my take on it is that so I do like this conference better than the last one, but the one big difference that I noticed is that this is a much smaller venue. If you notice the one in Orlando, the hotel was way bigger. Yeah, it was huge, and then the convention hall was like way bigger. Like here at the convention hall is just one hallway. You just got that one hallway, and you got like 2 rooms over here, and then that's it. The last one, there was a whole upstairs and downstairs of the whole convention. Yeah. It was a much bigger place. I think there was much more people at the last one too. Yeah. But I guess that's like a trade-off because this one is smaller and there's less people. It felt a little more intimate. Like you felt a little more connected to the people, and also I was able to kind of bump into the same faces more. Like I walked past you guys like 10 times, right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And versus the last time, we might have only walked past each other maybe 2 or 3 times, you know? Yeah. So I think that was like a good trade-off. But I will say this one has been more enjoyable. I feel like they had more personal events like the one we just came from, where they had like this big banquet, and I noticed they did like one like almost every day. They had like a lunch, a dinner, you know. So I would say that they are doing a much better job at making these conferences more intimate.
Exactly.
Versus the last one was like, go to this panel, then go to that panel, you know. So I really do enjoy that. And another thing I want to ask you, as a parent of a son with albinism, what is it like? What are your duties in terms of advocating for him to make sure that he has all his resources and everything that he needs?
So I feel like, you know, it changes, you know, your duties as a parent, and he's 12 going on 13 now. So I feel like my duty now is to kind of let him start to experience life and learn some life lessons on his own, because before, you know, we're running behind him, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, making sure we're talking to his coaches and his teachers and so forth. So now it's pushing him, and we've given him the tools to do self-advocacy, and so now it's like, you have to do it, and just following up with him to make sure that he's doing it for himself. And I feel like that's the phase we're going into, is like, just like this morning, you know, it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna ask you again, because we keep going through this sunscreen thing, and I know, and I'm trying to understand, and I always tell him, like, son,
I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you. As a kid, you hate putting on sunscreen, and there's a few reasons. Number one, it smells. You know what I mean? Sunscreen just smells so weird. Then it's very sticky on your skin, so it don't feel good on your skin. So it becomes as a kid, it becomes a nuisance to put it on, because you hate the smell, you hate the stickiness of it. And then, God forbid, if you sweat or something like that, then it's like even more of like a yucky kind of feeling. So as a kid, you just don't want to do that. And that's how I was too. When I was a kid, I hated putting on sunscreen. But I will say this, you just have to. Because the thing is this, is that if you continue, and this is one thing I learned early on, as a person with albinism, if you continue to get sunburn, you will develop skin cancer later on. So you have to prevent yourself from getting sunburn, especially prevent from getting it frequently, because you will have skin issues in the future if you don't. But it's
a thing, and
yeah,
like you said, and so I've shown them pictures of skin cancer, like, you
oh,
don't.
you did? Oh,
yeah, it was like,
skin tactics.
Like, look, you don't want this, so now
Right.
it's like, okay, you have to do it, but, you know, we got to teach him how to be independent and maintain himself, because they're going to be, you know, he's going to school September, and it's like, mom and dad's not going to be there every single hour of the day.
Right.
You know, you got to do it, so.
So one thing I want to ask you, Jack, in terms of your albinism and the family that you come home to, do you feel like your family like really provides you everything that you need to emotionally feel like, you know what, I'm embracing my albinism? And I ask you this because I notice a lot of adults with albinism that are still insecure. They're insecure because they didn't have a loving mother, a loving father like yourself to come home to every night that helped them embrace their albinism. So I wanted to get your take on that, Jack. Do you feel like your parents are really pushing that encouragement for you to embrace your albinism?
They do, but I guess they do it a little too much.
What you mean they do it a little too much?
Like, it'd be like, just tell them you have albinism. Like, I think they already know that. Like,
I'll tell you this, they probably don't. If you're speaking to people your age, they definitely don't. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is this, when you're older, you will come across more people who know what it is, because you're older, they've lived a little longer, so they probably came across it before. But kids your age, they're not gonna have a clue what albinism is.
I mean, they might like ask if I'm on bio, and like, I don't really have a problem with them saying that, because it's just like, I just don't really like, I'm like developed like a very like, I guess lazy kind of feeling, and I was like, I just don't really feel like I should put my time and effort to explain what albinism is to a random stranger I'll probably never see again. So I just feel like, yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, right? Because essentially what you're saying is like, hey, I don't want to go through this whole speech about explaining what it is every time. But I will tell you this, and this is just my take on it. If someone asks you a question about albinism or asks you a question about your skin or what you are, whatever the case, it's coming from a place of ignorance. Not ignorance in the sense that that person is stupid, but ignorance as in they just don't know. And here's the thing, if they don't know what your condition is or what you have, if they don't know what albinism is, that becomes your opportunity to educate them. That becomes your opportunity to educate them because if they don't know what it is, how could they look it up? If they don't know what it's called, they don't know the name of it, there's no way for them to try to research it on their own. And then even if they know the name of it, they know it's called albinism, but they don't know much about it, and you don't take the time to educate them, and then they're going to go and get misleading information on the internet about it. So when they look up things like albinism, they're going to read stupid stuff that says like, oh, people with albinism can't be in the sun. And then they're going to go around thinking that that's the truth. So you set that bar from being able to educate them so that they don't get the misleading information elsewhere, because it's up to us to speak about our condition and what we go through. Don't leave it into the hands of other people are misleading things on the internet, and then they're going to be more ignorant towards it. You know what I mean?
So we always say you get to tell your story, you get to control the narrative, and that's what he's trying to tell you. You control that narrative, and otherwise, somebody else is going to try to write your story, and then you got to backtrack and try to fix it. And when we tell you to do it, it's more so we tell him. Most of the time, it's like if he's going into a situation like a summer camp or on getting a new sports team or whatever, it's like just get out in front of it so that you don't have to talk about it later.
Right.
And so we used to do that for him, but now it's like you have to start doing this for yourself.
So that's the theme that I'm seeing here, right? And even he's saying it that you and his mom are pushing him to speak for himself, advocate for himself. And he's looking at it like, I ain't got time to tell these people all this stuff. I'm just gonna go on about my day. You know what I mean? So I see exactly what it is, and I think it's really important that you're doing that. It's important that you're teaching him to advocate for himself, because sometimes you got to just break the ice like that.
Yeah.
Like me, I'll give you this example, Jack. Like for me, like you're in school, right? But I have an occupation, right? And when I go to my job and I'm on my computer and I'm this close to the screen, people are like, yo, what's going on with this guy? Why is his screen that close to his face? So that gives me the chance to break that ice and let them know, hey, listen, I have albinism, so I am visually impaired. So that helps. So by me speaking up about it and letting them know beforehand, that now sets the tempo for them. When they see me do things like that, they're like, okay, we understand. You know what I mean? So I get it. As a kid, it's probably annoying to go through that story every time, but it's really beneficial. It's really beneficial. And like I said, you got to look at it like it's your chance to educate them on what albinism is, because I can assure you, the peers that are your age are not going to have a clue. No. They're not going to have a clue. Now, other adults, they probably know what it is, but the other kids your age, they're not going to have a clue. And that's the thing, that the only way that they can figure it out is by asking someone who has it. And it's the same thing that everyone does. If I see a person with one leg, I'll be the one to ask a question. Like, oh, hey, were you born like this? Or, you know what I mean? And someone else may perceive it as a negative question, but they themselves, they probably don't, because they're like, well, I get that question all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, Well, what do you feel about that, Jack? You feel like we asking for too much?
I thought you make good sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I also want to ask Jack. So now you're a bit older now. So what grade are you in now?
I'm going to 7th.
You're going to 7th grade. Wow. Okay. So how was 6th grade for you? Do you feel like there was a difference between how people treated you about your albinism when you were in 5th grade versus in 6th grade? Like, was there a difference?
I mean, 5th grade was kind of really isolated. I mean, like it was. I can't really remember what happened because it was 2 years ago. But sixth grade was really isolated for me. Like it was my first year of middle school, and I was like, I'm still homeschooled, so
Oh,
it was like, it was just me and Corinne. It's like, I mean, we did go to this
Like what?
thing.
What
It was
thing?
like an
Give
after
some
school
details.
program. It was like an after school program called You Matter Too. It was like all black, all black kids. So I mean, some people.
predominantly black.
Yes.
Okay.
Some. Well, yeah. Well. Yeah. I get a lot of stares. I got a lot of stares. I was like, it looked like I wasn't like them. It was like if people asked, I was like, yes, I am black. Like, I just summed it up. I was like, yeah, I have albinism. And they were like, oh, okay. And some people knew already because they were my friends. So,
So do you feel like you're getting more questions? Do you feel like the questions are increasing over the years or decreasing?
decreasing.
You said increasing?
Decreasing.
Decrease. Okay, so less people are asking and
I
wondering.
mean, because people are sensitive now. And
Oh, that's a good perspective. I didn't even think about that. That's very true because society in this world is getting far too sensitive now. So now, in this day and age, people are probably too afraid to ask you what you are because they're afraid to offend you or
Yeah.
things like that.
yeah, but it just doesn't bother me. So it's just
Okay.
like, I was like, yeah, I don't care. Ask me questions. Do whatever you want. Like, it won't hurt my feelings.
So would you say that you're very confident in your albinism?
I'm confident. Like,
What's
shy
that?
confident.
Can you explain that? I don't know what that is.
That's a new word.
Right.
It's like where I'm confident but very shy. Like, I'm like, it just gives me a hard time to say excuse me. But when someone says excuse me to me, I'm like, oh, go right ahead. And it's just like,
So here's my take on it, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I mean, obviously, you know you better than I would know you. You don't come off as shy. You just come off as if you just don't have the patience to explain things.
yeah.
Would that be an accurate assessment?
Yeah, I'm confident. I just don't have, well, I guess the patience, yeah.
Yeah.
You would do it if you have to,
Yeah, if I had
Right.
and you don't, and it doesn't really bother you with the stairs or anything like that. And if they ask you,
No,
okay,
stairs bother me.
oh, they do
What
bother.
they do?
Okay, okay, all right, tell
Yeah,
me.
talk about that. Or why do they?
It just makes it like, I don't really get stares. Like, I usually get stares like when I'm in like an all black room, cause like, you know.
Right.
And it just makes me look so different. It's like segregation but reversed, basically.
Okay, so the stairs do bother you.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you deal with that if you feel like you're getting a lot of stares? What do you do about that?
I don't really do anything. I just ignore it, and then they just go back to whatever they were doing.
I'm surprised you even noticed them. I guess because you know, albinism comes with a visual impairment. I never really noticed when people did stare. It would always take for the person beside me to be like, "Hey man, why these people keep looking at you?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." You know what I mean? But me personally, I never really cared because, you know, again, I guess back to the example of like a person with one leg. If a person with one leg comes strolling in with their wheelchair, everyone's gonna stare. At least initially, everyone's gonna turn and look. It's no different than anything. You know what I mean? One thing that we're experiencing is not like different from everyone else. The thing is, anybody with some kind of extremity is going to get stared at. If a guy walks into this room right now that's 6'8", everyone's going to stare. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with him. He's not disabled just because he's 6'8". But you know, so you gotta look at it like that. It's like people will stare because you look different, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative thing. You just have to have that mentality of, you know what, I don't care. You know that. I hate to say it. It sounds bad, but At the end of the day, you have to have that mentality of, I don't care what people say, I don't care what people think. As long as they're not trying to cause no harm to you. As long as they ain't putting their hands on you. If they stare, they call you names, they snicker, they laugh, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, that's the mentality you gotta have.
Yeah.
And that's how you will easily make it through life with albinism, because if you take the time to care about every time somebody's staring at you or laughing or whatever, you're gonna be depressed for the rest of your life, because albinism ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So, and it's going to happen. Even I'm 35 and people still stare. You know what I mean? So, listen, you got a long time to live with this thing, and it's gonna happen everywhere you go, every time. You know what I mean? So, you just gotta have that mentality of just not caring.
Yeah, but the other reason I don't really care is because I sometimes stare at them too. Like, if they're staring at me, I just like stare at them in the corner of my eye. I'm like, are you gonna look away now?
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so the last question I want to ask you, Jack, is overall, how do you feel about albinism overall now?
I like it. I mean, we have a love-hate relationship. I mean, sometimes I wish I could see farther, because it's like, Mom would just be like pointing out some stuff, and I'd forget to bring my tools because I didn't think I'd need them. It's just like, where? It's like.
So do you always use your parents as your eyes? Like when you go into a restaurant and you can't read the menu, you'll be like, Dad, what's that say? Or Mom, what's that say? Can you read? Do you use that a lot?
No, I mean, I can use my phone as well. I can just take a picture and just look at it and just enlarge it. And,
Yeah, see, I do that too. I only do that when I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, then yeah, I'll take the picture and then zoom it in. But if you're sitting right there next to your dad, I'm like, Dad, read that for me. What that menu say? You know what I mean? Like that's Sometimes you got to use other people as your eyes. Like I do that with my wife. Every time I go somewhere with my wife, she knows she got to be my eyes. Even if we go to like a buffet or something, I can't see what's in that dish. I'm like, all right, babe, what's that? And what's that? And we'll go all the way down the line. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't be shy to use them as your eyes too, because they know. So if you ask your dad to read that menu for you, he's gonna know what the deal is. Yeah. He's not gonna ask twice. You know what I mean? But I do hate when it's someone else. Like when I go to a restaurant and let's say I am by myself, I'll ask the cashier like, "Hey, can you tell me what's in the number 2 meal?" And they're like, "Sir, the menu's right there." It's like, why would I ask you if I couldn't read it? So that is the annoying part. But if I got somebody with me, I'm definitely using them as my eyes.
The only real time I use my parents as my eyes is when, like, we're like at the movie theaters. Like, and we're watching one of those like growing up movies. It's like somebody's texting their friend or something. I'm like, what are they saying?
Oh, right. When the small print come across, right? Okay, and lastly, Jack. Last time we spoke, you were playing baseball. Are you still playing baseball, or are you into new sports now?
I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
A few months ago.
Wow. And how do you like it?
The baddest kids there.
That's good. The good thing about that is you chose a sport that doesn't require no vision at all. You know what I mean? So I think I couldn't imagine doing baseball. I can't, that small baseball, and it's hard to see when it's coming at you, but jiu-jitsu, you're going to see the person in front of you all day. So that's like the perfect sport.
Yeah, like I surpassed all the white belts already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very good. So you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Jack, any closing statements, man?
Anybody with albinism out there, be you. Just be you.
I love that, man. Well, another amazing episode of Life with Albinism podcast. You guys can stay tuned. You can go to our website, lifewithalbinism.com, to check out any merch that we have available, as well as any other endeavors and any new episodes that we got coming up. And I want to thank you guys for doing this episode with me. Thank you, Jack. And I'm glad to see you back here and to do another episode with you. And I hope y'all continue to keep coming to more NOAA conferences, and we can keep doing more follow-up episodes.
Right. You'll be what, 14 when we come
The
back.
next year, yeah.
So yeah, absolutely,
I'll be
man.
13 going on 14.
You'd be 14 going on 15, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's every 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 12.